Today, we're diving into the latest in IT privacy and security. And honestly, the theme is pretty simple and maybe a little chilling. Trust nobody.
Seriously, think about it for a second. How safe do you really feel online? Because the very things we've all been taught to trust, the little padlock icon, two-factor authentication, even the smart gadgets in our own homes, well, they're being turned against us in ways you probably haven't even thought of.
All right, so let's kick things off with the most common point of attack. Something you see, I don't know, a dozen times a day? A simple link. But here's the kicker. What happens when that link takes you to the real website and you still get hacked? This is a nasty piece of work called Starkiller. And see, Starkiller isn't your typical fake website. It's what's known as a man-in-the-middle attack. It basically creates a perfect pixel-for-pixel copy of the real Google or Microsoft login page, and then it just sits there right between you and the actual site. It's like a digital spy, just watching and grabbing everything you type. And this is the absolutely crucial part. Because it's just passing the real site along to you, it snags everything. Your username, your password, and yeah, even that 6-digit code you get on your phone for multi-factor authentication. Suddenly, MFA goes from being this big security wall to like a tiny speed bump. And the worst part, this whole thing is packaged up and sold as a service. It's got a slick web panel and everything, making it super easy for even low-skill criminals to pull off these really high-level hacks. So how in the world do you defend against this? Well, it's actually deceptively simple. You just have to stop clicking login links in emails or texts. Period. Instead, open a new browser tab and go to the site yourself. Or, better yet, use a password manager. It's this one simple habit that completely disarms the trap. But, the threat isn't just on your screen anymore. Sometimes it's already in your living room. Right, we spend so much time and effort securing our digital lives, but those lines are getting seriously blurry. The next threat we're going to look at isn't hiding on your laptop. It might actually be cleaning your floor right now. 7,000. That's the number. 7,000 robot vacuums that one software engineer accidentally got control of, all because he was trying to hook his own up to a video game controller. Wild. And this quote just nails the risk, doesn't it? He basically stumbled into a distributed surveillance network that no one realized they'd signed up for. Think about that. He had potential access to live cameras, microphones, and super detailed maps of almost 7,000 homes in 24 different countries. Now, luckily, this guy was one of the good ones, and he reported the bug. But man, it's a stark reminder of what our so-called smart devices can turn into. And listen, it's not just about accidental coding mistakes. Right now, the state of Texas is actually suing TP-Link, which is a huge name in home networking gear. They're alleging that the company downplayed major security risks and their supply chain ties to China. So all of a sudden, that blinking box in the corner you never think about, it's right in the middle of a huge geopolitical fight. This whole idea of hidden physical threats gets even weirder when you look at the Havana Syndrome mystery. For years, the official story was leaning towards mass hysteria. But then a scientist trying to debunk the whole thing builds a device to test the theory, and when he turns it on and tests it on himself, he develops the exact same symptoms. It's just a sobering reminder that some threats aren't just invisible. They can be dangerously hard to even prove exist. Okay, so we're being careful with links, we're giving our smart devices the side eye, but what happens when the very platforms we trust with our most sensitive information, our money, our data, what happens when they fail us from the inside out? This wasn't some sophisticated hack from the outside. No, this was a simple coding error inside PayPal. For 6 long months, a bug in their loan application process just laid bare the personal data of who knows how many users. We're talking names, addresses, even social security numbers. It just goes to show you, even the biggest giants in the tech world can spring a leak. And speaking of tools we're learning to trust, let's talk about AI for a sec. You might think, hey, I'll ask a chatbot to generate a super secure password for me. I mean, look at this thing. It looks complex, right? It's got symbols, numbers, it looks totally random and secure. But it's really not. And here's the reason why that's a huge problem. AIs are built to find and repeat patterns, not to create genuine, true randomness. They have what's called low entropy in the security world. I mean, if you ask an AI for a password a bunch of times, there's a good chance you'll get the same one back. They are predictable. And in the world of passwords, predictable is pretty much the worst thing you can be. Okay, so if you can't trust AI, and then you hear the recent news about flaws being found in major password managers, we're talking big ones like Bitwarden and LastPass,
you might be starting to panic a little, right? Like, who the heck is left to trust?
But here's the thing, and this might sound a little counterintuitive. This is actually fantastic news. Seriously. The whole point is that these independent public security researchers are out there kicking the tires and stress testing these critical tools for us. Every single flaw they find and report makes the entire system stronger for everyone. This isn't a sign that things are failing, it's a sign that the security community is working exactly the way it's supposed to. So after all that, what are we supposed to do? It can definitely feel a bit overwhelming, but when you boil it all down, the lessons from these stories point to a few clear defensive habits you could build. First, from that whole Starkiller mess, verify before you click. Just stop trusting links. Go to sensitive sites directly. Second, from our new army of robot vacuums, treat your smart devices like computers. They need updates, they need protection. Third, from the PayPal breach, just assume your data is going to be exposed at some point. It's sad but true. So freeze your credit as a default move. And finally, treat powerful AI like a stranger you just met. You wouldn't give them the keys to your house, so don't give them free roam over your most sensitive data.
Look, these habits can definitely help protect you, but they also point to a much, much bigger question. In a world that is literally built on code, it's not just about who you trust with your password anymore. The real question is, who do you trust to write the rules? Thanks for joining us on The Explainer.